A nice higher high and higher low structure has introduced itself into AMC, and there very well could be a continuation to the upside in the short term. We have already noticed a correlation between the broader markets and AMC, so it is critical for us to evaluate the index. Welcome back to the channel on this Freaky Friday. This is ARCa, and let's go to the movies. Let's kill 'em, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and take a look at AMC here on the hourly time frame. As you can see, every single one of our targets have absolutely met and continue to meet into today's price action, right? So we ended up resisting at this top end of about $4.39, just about $4.40, getting very close to the resistance that we spoke of anyway, right at around the $4.37. Now, this upside is very curious because if we pull back here into the SPY, and specifically in the hourly time frame, you're going to see that the hourly time frame did have a very nice push to the upside as well. And now that you're observing AMC, we definitely had that push to the upside in that hourly time frame towards the end specifically, right? It did come back and capitulate right in the post hours, but there is a recovery. So if there is this massive upside in the hourly time frame with a pullback, that usually means that there could be a very nice push to the upside using stochastic momentum versus volatility, right? So let's just go ahead and take a look at this right now. This is you know what? I think I actually have it set up right in this chart right over here. Perfect. All right, so take a look at this pullback on the hourly time frame of AMC, right? You're getting this pullback here, but notice that volatility is starting to exit the 15% of critical contraction. That's a great move right there. So what this does is that when you have this critical thrust on an hourly time frame, you usually get the bi-hourly time frame to express that upside too, based on wave theory, right? Or you would use like the domino effect, like a cascade. This is your bi-hourly time frame. Very nice pivot towards the upside. You can see here that we're inside of critical contraction. There could be a shift to this and a break to the upside in the coming days, right? So now the 3-hour time frame, also very nice pivot towards the upside on that stochastic momentum indicator, and we're diving into that critical contraction. But I have a feeling that the 3-hour time frame may not actually reach contraction and may actually just reverse and continue, right? So let's go ahead and now move on to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame already getting that upside pivot, and this was just starting to contract. So let's look at the 6-hour time frame and see what's up there. So the 6-hour time frame has not stopped its contraction phase. It did its expansion phase. It did slow down a little bit, but it's all good. Now, for those of you who are a little bit curious over what volatility is, right, it's just the disbursement of transactions, of returns, right? So this is representing the frequency of transactions coming in and out, right? So specifically to the upside does not mean price action upside. This is direction neutral. It's just telling you that that price action or volatility, incoming volume, is getting more and more intense with expansion, right? When it contracts, it's getting lesser and lesser in that intensity. Now, what gives you the bias for direction is stochastic momentum. So this pair here is absolutely powerful, right? So know this is an ARCa Bulls script. I did script this myself, and it's going to be available to the ARCa Bulls trading team in about, I think in about a week here. So please go ahead and do me a favor and join the ARCa Bulls trading team. I will add a link right up here for you to consider joining the team, all right? So now, please remember, when you get there, use the verification, right? You got to verify so that you can see the channels. If you're going to subscribe to the team, use your PC. Make sure to use the PC, and then everything will be available on your phone right after that, right? Unless you're on an iPhone, then you could do it, but you would get a discount, guys, if you're using a computer, right? Apple has like a markup, but everything good. So yeah, we're starting to get this very nice push to the upside in almost all the time frames. 8-hour time frame, as you can see here, is still expanding very nicely. There is no give on this curvature whatsoever, and we do have a pivot towards the upside here. So this is already looking pretty strong all the way up these time frames. Yeah, even here on the 12-hour time frame, very nice pivot towards the upside on expansion and stochastic momentum. Yeah, it's all looking good. Now the open on Monday is going to tell us if this is going to shift to the upside or not. Something tells me that it is. Now, take a look at the closing candle here on the daily time frame, right? When you are printing a candle like that, guys, that is, let's just go ahead and kind of, what is this right here? Okay, good. Yeah, let's just go ahead and take a look at it. Let's just go ahead and take a look at that print, right? So we're gonna make a candle here for us to evaluate, right? It's gonna be something like this here. Let's just make sure that we can keep that middle line out of the picture here, and make sure that this thing is green, right? So this is the type of candle that we printed. Let's just make it big so that everyone can kind of see exactly what's happening, right? So we have a small wick to the upside, right? Just like we do on that daily candle, right? And we also have a very, it's actually an arguably longer wick and to the downside, right? So the candle is looking like this right here, right? This very candle down here. So this candle, right? Remember, green candles open up in the bottom, red candles open up on top, right? So this candle ended up opening here at the 1482. We made a move, specifically to the downside here to about $6. And well, I mean, in this case, right, we opened up in about what was it, $4.28. Made a move all the way down to $4.10. Then we made that move to about $4.40, right? This is your $4.10. This is your $4.40, and we ended up closing right about that area there, which is now $4.43 intraday, right? So we closed right up here. So that is usually what this candle, or what happens with the candle. What this signals is that, if you can see here, we had two other candles just before that, right? So those other candles were something like this, something like this here, and you had this as a color of red, right? So let's just go ahead and make that red, right? I want to display this to you very, very hugely, right? So that everybody kind of can keep track over what's happening here, right? And we had another red body candle, right? So that's three in reality, right? So tiny wicks on this, we could draw them in there just for you, just so we can kind of be consistent here, right? Tiny wick here, and we had a tiny wick to the downside on the prior candle. So this is currently the structure that you're looking at with these last three candles down here, right? So price closing right here at the 433, right? So what you usually do, what happens here when you're getting a decline like this, and you print this type of candle, that's actually called a hammer candle, right? So we're just going to go ahead and note this here as a hammer candle. And a hammer candle is indicative of a price reversal, right? So this, sorry about that. Wow, a little bit of a little bit of a dyslexia there. So hammer candle, this would be price reversal. Now, reversal meaning that it could start changing its direction bias. This could start making a move towards the upside when it's printed. Why? The reason why is because you have this downside all the way over here. So now when you have that downside and you recover all this and print green and it looking like a hammer, that usually tells you that the bears could not keep the price action down here. So the bulls took over and ended up closing the price action all the way up to that 433 from that 410 low. So this usually presents candles that are the following candles would be something along the lines of like this here, right? So you'll start getting prints like something like this, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's probably going to deviate a lot. That's what happens, right? So you're probably going to notice this one that's going to be potentially green. So I am sort of guessing here that we may actually have a green day coming into Monday. All right. So just know that the broader markets are historically red on Mondays, but there could be a shift in sentiment overall, as we did see a massive shift in price action here right when we reached that bottom side on the SPY of 518.30, we made that explosive move towards the upside. So I just want to make sure that you are aware over how the price action tends to behave when we print this type of hammer candle at the bottom side, right? So this would be it right over here. And I do have, I believe, you know what? No, it's very similar to this. This is another type of a reversal formation, right? This is your tweezer bottom. But in this case, guys, yeah, what we're looking at here is a different type of reversal formation. And that is your hammer candle reversal with continuation, right? So, guys, of course, this is, I am an instructor, right? So make sure to get in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse at Gmail if you would like to be a part of the 5-week. I actually condensed this program down from 19 weeks to a 5-week mentorship for beginners in trading and charting, right? So make sure to get in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse at Gmail and make a change for your trading career, right? So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here because everything is kind of looking good and it looks like we may be catching a potential reversal into the coming Monday. All right, you guys. So if we're now continuing here, take a look at the bottom side targets. This was another way that we were able to annihilate and absolutely identify those bottom sides. Why? Because this is an ascending broadening wedge, right? The ascending broadening wedge is typically speaking the take profit formation or the take profit or price objective for this candle formation is at the genesis of the formation itself. So this is why we were able to identify a potential drop into the coming days, right? This is a bearish formation here, and in the first chart that we observed, this is also a bearish formation. So we were able to identify two different bear plays at once, right? The bottom side target that we observed down here at about $4.06 was simply identified by taking a measurement of the top end of your channel. Then you apply it to the downside, where we broke down, and that gives you the target right there. So that's how we were able to identify that. The bottom side target was very confluent to your ascending broadening wedge as well, located down here. But of course, since it's located here, we might as well touch the bottom side of inflection. What is inflection? It's an area of critical support or critical resistance. Support meaning that we're coming down, right? You face support. Resistance would be the upside, and you're going to face resistance, right? So in this case, yeah, we noticed that we had a clear area of inflection right down here, right? So that's going to present a lot of danger if we start closing daily candles below this area here of about 418. That's a great thing that we ended up moving to the upside here. Post-market closing at $4.28, and traditional market close was $4.33. So definitely not below that 418 mark, right? So we're looking pretty good so far, and there appears to be a continuation to the upside now that we solidified a couple things down there, okay, you guys? So let's just go ahead and make sure that we can play it safe in the markets right now. If we continue on to the upside, what can we do? What kind of targets could we be looking at? Well, the hourly time frame already kind of gives me a hint, right? We have this top end of the price action here at around $4.39. So we're going to get over that SMA 50. A little bit of rejection here in the coming morning, right? In the earlier part of the of the trading session coming on Monday. Now, as soon as we break above this, right, that's going to give us the validation of support at around the $4.40 zone. Something tells me that we may actually make it around. Well, I mean, guys, we have kind of a. We don't have that big of an ATR, so this is about 73 cents, right? So that tells me here that we may be able to make it all the way up to the SMA 200 on the hourly time frame. So if the SMA 200 is located right about here, then that tells me actually that's a pretty tight target. It is a range, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put it down anyway. It would be about $4.83, and it is an upside bound. I would say to about $4.88. And the reason why I'm saying that it would be around that zone there is because, first of all, you do have a daily average true range, right? This asset can move about 73 cents up or down on a daily basis. So if we open up at around 428, 430, you add those 73 cents, you could be at around the $5 mark. But this is a moving average that usually we respect, right? So, yeah, there could be continuation onto the upside. If we combat that SMA 200, Here are some of the top bounds that we can explore, right? 525 to around 568. Center of the target could be around 547. So now you know the upside, you know the downside, and all the risks, team. Please be careful in the markets. If you have any questions, please go ahead and reach out to me. I want to see you in class. I want to see you try to make a change for your, I want to see you make a change for your trading career, right, guys? Get in touch with me as soon as you can. Thank you so much for stopping on by. I wish you a great weekend, okay, you guys? Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never, never, ever, never. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.